After that, I decided to sell all of my pigs. And honestly, it turned out to be a great deal because I earned a total of $102,600 from the sale. That gave us a huge boost to our budget and brought us one step closer to our next big investment. After that, I headed over to the goat barn and decided to sell my goats as well. Then, I invested that money into buying more sheep. The reason is simple. If we want to increase shirt box production in the future, we're going to need a lot more wool. So instead of focusing on milk, I chose to focus on wool production and prepare for the next stage of our business. After that, I loaded all the goat milk pallets from the storage warehouse onto the trailer. Once everything was loaded, I headed straight to the production facility. It was finally time to process all that milk and turn it into products that would bring us even more profit in the future. After that, I got back to field work. Most of the fields were still sitting untouched and hadn't been cultivated yet, so I decided to take care of that job as well. There's no point leaving the fields idle, and the sooner we prepare them, the sooner we can start the next crop cycle. So, I attached the cultivator and got to work. And finally, I decided to cultivate the area that we had originally reserved for growing grass for our animals. After thinking about it, I realized there's no reason to leave that land unused. Even if it's a small area, we can still grow something there and earn a little extra profit. So, I went ahead and cultivated that section as well to make sure every piece of land on the farm was being put to good use. And then, the very next day, we started seeding. This time, I decided to plant soybeans in the field. With the land fully prepared and cultivated, it was finally time to begin the next crop cycle. So, I filled up the seeder and got to work, hoping this harvest would bring us even more profit in the future. Finally, in the month of June, our crops were ready for harvest. So, without wasting any time, I brought out the harvester and got straight to work. After waiting for months and taking care of the fields, it was finally time to see the results of all our hard work. Now it was time to unload all the harvested soybeans into the trailer. And luckily for us, this couldn't have happened at a better time. It's currently June, which means soybean prices are at one of their highest points of the year. So if we decide to sell them now, there's a good chance we'll make a really nice profit from this harvest. So after selling all the soybeans, we ended up earning a decent amount of money. In total, the harvest brought us $31,053. It's not the biggest profit we've ever made, but it's still a solid return, and every dollar helps us move closer to our next big investment. After that, I finally bought the Spinnery. It was a huge investment, costing me a total of $180,000. But if we want to turn our wool into fabric and eventually produce shirt boxes, this is a step we simply can't skip. From now on, our wool production chain is officially underway. After that, I delivered all the wool to the spinnery. By the time I checked back, a small amount of fabric had already been produced. So, I loaded up the fabric and transported it to the tailor shop, where it would be used to produce shirt boxes. We're finally getting closer to the final stage of our production chain. And after that, our shirt boxes were finally ready. Instead of selling them right away, I decided to transport all of them to the storage warehouse. That way, we can wait for the best selling season and get a much higher price for them. With so much hard work already invested into this production chain, it only makes sense to sell them when the market is at its peak and maximize our profit. And finally, April arrived, the best season for selling shirt boxes. So, I loaded every single shirt box onto the trailer and headed straight to the selling point. We were already carrying a lot of debt, so this sale was incredibly important for our farm. Now, it was time to find out whether all the hard work, investments, and waiting would finally pay off. After selling all the shirt boxes, our total earnings came out to $341,316. And honestly, that's an incredible result. All the time we spent raising animals, producing wool, processing fabric, and waiting for the perfect selling season has finally paid off. This is by far one of the biggest profits we've made so far, and it's a huge step forward for our farming empire. So that's all for today. I'll see you very soon with another exciting episode. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep smiling. Bye-bye.